That cup looks so small in your hands.
Would anyone like some tea? The shooter of
You have to
tea?
hold the
But
little
this-
pinky
yes.
up.
Yes. Very tasty.
Lots of
That's
sugar.
what he does in the morning.
What happens when three automation pros get sidetracked by broken cars, dishwasher disasters, and robot memories? It's Unfiltered Brew, Intermission Special.
How is the brew crew doing?
Doing great.
Intermission. We're going to do a quick intermission today. It's here on
Unfiltered brew, right?
Unfiltered Brew. You know what? I thought, hey, well, why not? Let's just do something 10 minutes, and then you can go off and do your things that you need to do.
My poor car.
Your poor car.
You
needs
guys,
some
my
help.
car's gonna explode.
We need you. You can't.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, no, that's why I'm glad that light is not static where you're getting the coolant light because, yeah, as I said, I've got people I know that it was static and the engine seized.
So when you say static, it's like it doesn't go away.
It's on, and guess what? All the coolant dumped out of the car. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's two lights you don't want to ignore in your car. Oil pressure, losing oil pressure, turn it off immediately, and the coolant, turn it off immediately if it's on for a while. But,
to be fair, like I'm an engineer. I fixed my own cars and changed my own oil for like decades. I just couldn't get that cap off.
Cars are complex these days. Yeah, and frankly, when I opened up the hood of my Volkswagen, which is similar to an Audi, right? It's got plastic covers on everything. You got to go, oh, I got to lift this. I got
muscles. I got muscles.
Yeah, right. And you still couldn't turn the cap for the coolant. That thing, I'm wondering why that's the case. Is it a plastic cap or a metal cap?
Yeah, it's a plastic cap, and you have to like push in and turn and press down. And I was like, what the heck? And so I got my neighbor to do it because I was like, all right, I got these stupid nails with my daughter, and maybe that's the case. But he couldn't do it either. And I was like, ha. It's not me.
It's amazing how somebody with nails can like naturally avoid making that critical mistake of pressing against the nail as you're doing something like that. Well, we decided we're going to do a quick intermission, extra innings, bottom of the seventh, you know, whatever we want to call it.
Because we're hyped up on coffee.
Because we're hyped up on coffee. We're jacked up and we want to do unfiltered brew, even though this is filtered coffee.
That cup looks so small in your hands.
Would anyone like some tea? The shooter of tea?
You have to hold the little pinky up.
Yes. Very tasty.
Lots of sugar.
That's what he does in the morning.
This is a perfect example of a cup that has suffered from you know putting it in a dishwasher when it wasn't dishwasher safe. It used to have a cool airplane on the side of it that just sort of. One day I'm like, what's this white powder on my fingers? After I get it out of the dishwasher, and it just over time, slowly, that caustic detergent just took it off. So
you must listen to the warning labels.
Yeah, well, that's true. I didn't pay attention. I realize now that anything if the graphic is not like pressed like part of the ceramic, it's not dishwasher safe. It's like the Renaissance cup, actually, Elizabeth.
I actually have
that
one.
is not dishwasher safe, I don't think.
I don't know. I put it in the dishwasher all the time.
Really?
It still says Genera.
Then again, you've got a limitless supply.
Not really.
She'll
but
just keep fooling us.
I will pay to see Genera fading, you know, but it's not. It's actually it's good. And
Genera never
and they
fades.
told me to put it on the top shelf, not but it works.
I just gave you a commercial, Elizabeth, and you missed
Genera. Genera, it never fades.
Unlike Sura without coffee.
And what is your cup, Sura? That's a full ceramic.
It's a BASF.
Oh, BASF. Oh, yeah. That's a classic.
Yeah. I loved being part of BASF. It was nice to have all the, the things that they're producing and be part of it.
Yeah, like I'm trying to think of the catch line for BASF's advertisements.
We didn't blow anything up this year.
Oh, okay. Today in BASF PR dialogue, we didn't blow anything up this year. No plants on fire. But I remember though they had like a sort of a thing. Well, you don't see us directly, but we're behind everything you have.
That's actually true. They have so many products. I ended up having like discounts on like the filter for like my heating system because they made something in it, or the carpets. Like we got discounts off like certain carpets. It was so interesting.
Yeah. And that was an acquisition, right? That how they arrived in San Diego, they bought somebody else.
Yeah, so
Verenium.
Diversa, right, broke up into like BP and Verenium, and then BASF took over Verenium in their like foray into like white biotech.
Okay. Yeah, that's like, in a way, that's like how the three of us kind of at different times intersected, right? From
Yeah,
Redisoft
exactly.
doing the deployment at BASF, Tom Todaro, Elizabeth,
To
Redisoft,
Stably
Sura,
Arms. Yeah.
Stably Arms, Precise Flex.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's
Benchbox.
BASF or it's like Tom, right? Because Tom Todaro
right.
was part of all of that.
Yes.
Right,
The missing link.
right. Imagine over here, Tom Todaro hopping on the episode. Yeah, that's
Which
actually
is so
that's a
funny
thought.
Oh,
because
that
I
would
knew
be
him from
nice.
UCSD days, right? I showed up at Phi Lab and he was working there, and that's how I met him when I was like 17.
Wow, got into the lab industry early.
Yeah. I told you, coming up
Yeah.
as it came up. I wasn't lying.
Like, yeah, no, you got to see a lot of the developments and companies that started with just a couple people. I mean, when did Dynamic Devices? When did you first hear about them? I was just thinking about that. Like as far as
So
companies.
Kelly came from TCAN, so
Okay.
that's how he kind of started it. Him and John Mark, right?
Mhm.
So,
Okay.
but I only heard about it at Genomatica because my colleague Janique, who's now at AstraZeneca, had commissioned the Lynx purchase.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I would run across the links every once in a while when I first started at Precise before Brooks, and they're more common now for sure.
Mhm.
You see
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
of the links.
And we love it because it's XML files that you can do anything with, and they're so supportive.
Yeah, it's a bit more open, I guess, than some of the other platforms.
Especially when you're trying to, Elizabeth will see this, I'm trying to like get the QPix integrated on a continuous workflow, and then I pivot to the dynamic devices. It's like night and day. Closed API, open.
Yes, chair disappears, chair
Chair
appears. Closed API, open API. Join us for a Helical Brew therapy session here.
Almost like I planned it.
In the morning. Exactly. I think your chair heard. She's going to make a statement. Yeah, the APIs, and also how the data is stored, right? Because at the end of the day, the API or the data may be some unreadable binary format that just.
Well, it's just the fact that anything that's XML, like there's so many more opportunities.
Yeah, it's not a perfect world when it comes to the connection of different things, but alas, that's our job. That's our job, right? Figure out how to work around it.
As part of International Automation Day.
Exactly.
Lab Automation Day,
Day.
right? Or Lab Automation Week, or
Day.
The day is
Day.
today, but
20
everyone's been talking about it.
yeah. It's sort of a week, right? I mean, if everybody's going to talk about it for.
And if you're a lab automation engineer, it's sort of like every day, forever.
Yeah, like every day's a Lab Automation Day. It's like, and special days are ones where you get to put a new robot online or something like that, maybe, or a new piece of equipment. Well, that was it was a quick intermission. We can see if bye. No.
I don't think Elizabeth has talked enough.
I know. Exactly. Yeah. So next week, Elizabeth, I think, if I recall, we have a webinar.
Yes, 25th of June,
Okay.
1 p.m. Eastern time.
Okay. Looking forward to that.
Really looking forward.
Oh, wait,
to
I'm on it. Yeah. No.
Exactly. I'll see you there.
Had to have a little fun with that.
The voice of SLAS never forgets.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I got to
You should
use
just
it.
always wear it.
You know what?
There you go.
Actually,
Tell us about it.
That could work.
And the Helical Brew hat, and then you're all set.
That's
A
right.
walking advertisement.
Yeah. Well, that's that. Yeah.
I was checking our email, and there's so many people that are like, "Hey, do you have any merch?" I was like,
Really?
"Do?"
I should put that in my. I don't have that in my Mac Mail accounts list. Maybe I should add that.
Yeah, I added it to my Outlook just so I can see how many. I realized TikTok was spamming us, so I have to go turn off those notifications.
Oh.
Yeah, they all. It's like they'll have a list of check boxes 20 deep, and if you miss one of them, that's an excuse. Sorry, there's a leak.
Yeah. I thought I'd get us some traction by following my daughter's horse accounts, and because, they've got a lot of subscribers, and maybe some of those will be like, who is this follow? And then follow us. So now I'm getting all her updates on our email.
Oh, yeah, because it's going to refer every poster over to your feed. So it wants you to open the app as much as possible, basically. I think is their goal there. Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, the happy Lab Automation Day to everyone in the industry. And thank you for the great posts that were out there. The one that I liked the most was that Velocity 11 post. I was like, yes, that's a logo I had not seen in that full format in a long time. It's just sort of long lost logo in this whole industry.
I had a moment when I thought they were like back, like for 2 seconds.
Me too.
Yeah.
You could totally see it happening. I mean, there's other companies that have been brought back.
I mean, how many years has it been? And we still talk about them. Like they did something right to be this popular still.
Yeah. Although it has been a while since I've seen an actual device that had the logo on it. So, I mean, that does speak to how long the acquisition happened. I mean, even the original devices, which as reliable as they are, have been phased out.
But do you remember the flipper?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I just saw one at Biotics the other day.
I heard the flipper made a comeback. Like that instrument kind of had its day for a while and then it kind of went dormant. And now there's some essay, I guess, that is popular right now that people are using it for.
Yeah, I forget which one. I was just having this conversation.
Okay. Very large box. That's a big one. That's on the, I would say, for a single nest instrument. When you look at an instrument, it's like it has one nest and this whole box behind it. Cytomat 24 is another example of that, or the whatever Lyconics version is, the gargantuan. I remember seeing one of those in the field one time. I was like, what is that? They said, oh, that's the Lyconic something. And it's even bigger.
Yeah, that one's big.
That. Yeah.
Wouldn't this have been a fun live episode to have people call in and talk about their favorite devices or old school systems?
That's a good point. A live episode on Lab Automation Day.
Yeah,
right?
Call in and tell us which one you missed.
We got John from St. Louis, Missouri on. John, what's your question? What's your favorite?
Tell us, what's your favorite?
Oh man, Mike, there's this one time when this robot just completely took out this liquid handler. I love that liquid handler. It's my favorite. That robot took it out. Stories from the field. That would never happen with a Precise Flex, by the way.
We should do that for the Automation in the Wild series. That would be a good episode. Live from San Diego, Toronto, and Reno. Kind of
like I want to kind of spin off from Andrew Herder's story about the orca, right? Or
hilarious.
That would have been. I'm sure there's other stories like that. Or what's the biggest loss you suffered of an instrument in your facility? Because I've seen like $250,000 get scrapped within 2 seconds. You know? No,
and we all have stories like that, right? Like I think the robot used to call us when we were at BASF and we couldn't figure out why it kept pausing remotely, even we had cameras and everything. And then we showed up and we saw the perfect stack of the trash going all the way up to what we had built to stop it, even on the rail. We're like, that's why the Stably arm kept stopping.
Oops. Takes a lot to stop a Stably arm.
I mean, it took a while, right? Because the whole trash needed to be stacked, and then the whole rail that it was sliding down need to be stacked.
Wow. Yeah. Well, if it can happen, it will happen, as they say, right?
The janitor shadowboxing beats it, though. I mean, that's incredibly funny.
What is going through your head? I want to know that person's hobbies.
We should tell his sensei, hey, he is committed. He is shadowboxing a robot at night.
I would love to have been a fly on the wall for the conversation that they had with this person after they discovered they were shadowboxing at the time, a very expensive orca robot.
Be like, so last
night
we want to do that. We saw you last night.
Or you know how you come in, could you come over to so and so's office at 9:00, just have a quick meeting, and then have somebody in the corner
Or have the video streaming.
and then make him nervous, a little bit, like, oh. I was doing that last night.
Oh, that team's usually so nice though. Like our janitor team's always so nice.
Do they like have briefing sessions with janitor teams? Like when you have stuff running overnight, I mean, this is costing the company like a lot of money to operate this stuff overnight.
Yeah.
Is there like a conversation that happens? Stay away from here. This is fine.
I found that no, not really.
No?
What we used to do is just put like signs on the door and then signs on the work cells, and even signs like on the computers, like experiment in progress, please don't disturb, right? And, you could tell like the head of facilities to like relay the message, but the signs really help.
Yeah. Is there a story for you, Elizabeth, that you recall from getting a phone call about something like that?
No, because someone told me that once they were running a bunch of samples and the facilities at night, they turn off the AC. And then in the morning, everything was ruined because it got so hot inside.
Oh.
So technically, everything got damaged. And it was just the facilities that decided to save money and not run the AC at night.
Who would have guessed?
Imagine.
Being eco-friendly was not so much corporate
that would
friendly.
be terrible.
Yeah, because sometimes you do it to room temperature, so you don't need like individual cooling nests or whatever. But if room temperature is like
assume that
80
the temperature is controlled inside the room.
Yeah, some of that equipment generates a lot of heat too.
Yeah, that's true.
The fans on those imagers or like a flipper. I mean, I remember that instrument. It generates a lot of heat.
Yeah. I always told the facility guys I wanted the lab the robot lab to be 68 degrees, mostly because I like it cold, but also because of the heat generated in all those systems.
Yeah. Well, save a penny, lose $1,000.
More than that, right? Cons was saying like 40,000 for that experiment where you had the cool guy save him.
Oh, right.
Did you guys check out the draft for that episode? I found the cool like image with music for the cool guy.
The
episode before this episode.
Save the day.
I know. Too bad we can't do shots at 9 a.m. in the morning whenever my chair appears and disappears.
Oof. Someday, today would be, we'd be
we needed
sluggish.
It.
We'd be sluggish. Yeah, we needed it. And, a little intermission after some fits and starts with the episode recording. We'll get there. We'll get there. Well, with that, anything else going on besides our famous Lab Automation Day?
Lab Automation Day. We almost got you to sing, Over the Rainbow.
Swing low.
Mike has a gravelly voice in the morning, trying to get him to sing things.
Coming for to carry me home. Gravelly, gravelly. I like it's like you've been gargling with gravel.
It just takes a little bit, and then your voice like equilibrates.
the Barry White mode activated.
What were you saying, Elizabeth?
That just yesterday, I think, was the new logo for LRIG was released. So their new branding, everything.
Oh,
yeah,
I saw that.
Okay.
Yeah, Canada has their own logo as well.
So each chapter now has their own logo. I'm looking
actually the same logo with different colors. So
okay.
We will be represented by different colors.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
exciting.
cool.
A lot of work was put into that. So kudos to the team at LRIG.
Yeah. Oh, I bet. That's. I mean, they're sort of independent LRIGs, and it takes a lot to bring everybody together because they really operate on different. Well, they were established at different times, and they also have their own charters, each one of them. So that's cool. Oh yeah, I see it on the webpage. Yeah, they've got looks like a B-2 bomber.
Does right? I was like, what is that?
Doesn't that look like a B-2 bomber with the different colors and whatnot? Yeah.
Trust Mike and Sura to see things that aren't actually there.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. And we're still kicking around the idea of doing an LRIG Nevada. So more to come.
More to come.
You guys had that Reno event recently, though. I heard a lot of good things from that based on the posts.
We had a lot of fun. Yeah, there was, I think 50 some odd folks.
That was an SLAS event?
Yeah, SLAS. This was their first North American meetup. They've had a couple in Europe already. They had one in Gothenburg, Sweden, and the other one was Svenska.
Staubli.
Stop. Now we're getting Swiss German. Staubli. Oh, I'm gonna get some emails on that one. Not quite right. The other, and then they're gonna have one in Raleigh, Durham at the Research Triangle, RTP in North Carolina. That will be the second North American meetup. It's a whole different deal for SLAS. This is a completely new thing. They haven't done this prior to this year, and it's just a way to do things in some non-hub markets. Although, I mean, RTP is definitely a hub, and I think that one is going to run 2 days instead of 1 day. But Reno was it's definitely not in the mainstream lab automation space, but it is growing, and we wanted to grow more, and it was great that SLAS agreed to come out here and host it here. So it
just needs more events, right? Because it's had like Hamilton there forever. It's just
exactly
they don't draw people in for it,
Exactly. And when, we were all discussing, we had, a few hours of networking after the talks, and a lot of that came up. It's like, how can we leverage what we have more to increase the network? And that's also with the university. The university has a startup hub. We've got startup companies that incubate within the university's facilities, because they have kind of like what you have in Boston or San Diego, these ready to go lab facilities. But that can be expanded. They're at capacity. They could fit more companies if they had more facilities. And it's just a matter of, at one time Illumina was a tiny company in San Diego. I remember that day. Qualcomm was not massive. They were big, and they had Kyocera. You had more players, but they were much smaller. It's like, Reno is sort of at a similar stage where we've got big companies coming in like Tesla, like Amazon, Apple. We've got data centers. This is becoming a big data center location because we have plenty of water, surprisingly, even though it's high desert. But, we've got an ecosystem of people constructing things. And when you have people like that, it's just a matter of attracting venture capital focused companies that are small. Because if they locate here right out of the gate, it's easy, right?
Yeah, they should totally do that. There's so many people looking for jobs right now. Let's just get some companies going.
Yes.
And your burn rate is automatically cut, by not burning on rent in the Bay Area, or, you know what I mean? There's a lot of savings there. Right. Your burn rate in San Diego and San Diego, I got to say, though, has been hit the worst. There's so many companies.
I joke that it's like just you walk outside and there's all these like former biotech people just like wandering the streets looking for jobs. Because a lot of them don't want to leave San Diego either. But I think it's getting to the point where you just got to go. There's nothing here.
You see that in Toronto at all? Like, is there any discussions of like biotech hubs and things like that? Are the universities getting more involved in spinning up new companies?
They always do. So they have collaborations, and there is what is the name of the Johnson & Johnson? There is another, like an incubator as well. The
Janssen?
Yeah, I don't remember right now, but there are multiple things that are being done to kind of support these small biotech companies. The university has a big part of that, and now the Acceleration Consortium as well, that is partnered with the University of Toronto. So
yeah. So we've got an acceleration thing also here in Reno that's just not being applied to biotech. That's another thing, right? There's a lot of different resources that could be shifted in that direction. So we'll see. But it was a cool event, and I think they're going to continue to do more of them as they go. They're not really, and like there's no tabletops or anything like that. It's not a vendor focused show. It's not like it's more of just a meetup. Yeah, classic.
It will be great if we can have one of those in Canada with SLAS.
Could happen, right? It's certainly just, they're in year one, and there's a lot more cities to go check in with.
Yeah.
Austin, Texas, or St. Louis, or Toronto, Montreal. You name it. Good. Well, we can wrap up this, what was a 10-minute intermission that is now a 30-minute intermission.
I made the imaging for Unfiltered Brew, so you got to use that more.
This is Unfiltered Brew. Well,
the playlist that just keeps giving.
We have a list. Yeah, we have a list. We also have show segments we want to use too, such as Hammer Time and other segments that we came up with early on. That was just recalling that was a fun brainstorming session when we started coming up with different concepts for shows and things like that. And I think our guest focus it's been a lot of fun, and we'll continue to do that. But as we go along, I mean, there's going to be more opportunities. And like you said, the live show, we've got to do the live show. I think the live show is the next step. So stay
Helical
tuned,
Brew
folks.
is live.
I mean, I can there's like, I see the button right here on the Riverside where you can just hook it up to YouTube direct. Like we could be on YouTube right now. If you want to. It's like there's just nothing to do. Like they deal with all that stuff. Pretty cool that that's actually included with the subscription. All right. Well, another episode of Unfiltered Brew is in the can. We'll see you next time, folks.
Thank you for joining us on the Helical Brew. We're glad to have you with us. For more episodes, please visit our website at helicalbrew.com. That's helicalbrew.com.